Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Chelsea 2, Everton 2. Big point at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, they're the points you've got to pick up, aren't they? They're the ones you've got to try and accumulate. Try and win your home games. Try and pick up points away, and then very occasionally, if you can get us 3 points away from home, that would really, really help as well. Towards this end of the season, which we all know is going to be tough. It's going to be tough, of course. But under Sean Dyche, we seem to be grinding out results a lot better. So great point tonight, as far as I'm concerned. Let's get into it. Jordan Pickford had to make 5 saves tonight. Come under some pressure towards the end with obviously the amount of corners they had, but never really had to make any. I don't think one massive save apart from a decent stop from a header. But I thought he did. Thought he did well tonight. I've given him 7.5. Yeah, again, this is what you need: a level of consistency, especially from your goalkeeper, one of your senior players. He's got to be consistent, and he's shown that. He's shown that recently. So, big performance from him tonight. Seamus Coleman looked a bit tired tonight. A little bit. Wasn't quite his game. Played 84 minutes before being replaced by Vitaly Mykolenko. Won 50% of his ground duels, 2 out of 4. But just he never really, I don't know, never looked comfortable. He was all right. He made one. What I would say, he's made one really big interception in the first half. Just they were on a counter attack, and he just got his little touch to it, just to push the ball out of the player's path, and that allowed enough time, I think it was Onana, to come back and deal with it. That was a really big moment in the first half. So, but listen, don't think he was terrible by any means. Just don't think he just quite had the game enough energy to get up the pitch. It's tough for fullbacks when you play like this because they want to get forward and they can't. But I've given him a 6.25. On the other side, Ben Godfrey, again, not an easy game for him. Again, I've reiterated this a lot of times. Ben Godfrey to me is very much an athlete, who just happens to be okay at football. He needs to find a position. Left back isn't his position, by the way. Left back definitely isn't his position, but he does need to find a position and play there regularly, because I think one of the things he does struggle with is just like positioning. His positioning isn't great. He gets himself in poor positions. But he works hard, as I said. I think what's mad is, his ground duels he's won 2 out of the 3. Aerial duels he's only won 1 out of 4. I think he needs to improve in the air massively, especially for his size. I can imagine in a couple of weeks' time Mykolenko will come back in to the side, but the manager clearly likes his physicality. He likes the strength. His recovery pace is fantastic. He's just not a footballer in the classic sense of it. He's not a defender in the classic sense of it. And he needs to go into one position. I don't think personally Ben Godfrey can play and hold the midfield. I don't think he's got the discipline to play that position. I don't think he's educated enough in his positioning. For me, is what lets him down. But his recovery pace is massive. Well, when you're playing in midfield, recovery pace isn't gonna you're not going to get away with it because the game is so quick in there. I think in a 3, he suits playing in a 3, but we're not playing in a 3. But listen, I don't think he was terrible tonight, but he does get caught out, and I think the penalties are. I don't think he actually. I'm not sure if he's actually been. They've counted the penalty against him. I think that's against James Tarkowski, but he definitely gets the first touch, and then Tarkowski comes across him. He's being asked to defend, and that's why the manager will have kept him in for the game today. So he needs to get into one position. I'm not 100% what that one position is. As I said, maybe it is centre back long term. Maybe he's learning. At the moment, he's learning the game. Problem playing centre back in his heading. He's not good in the air at all. For his size, he is not good in the air. And look how many balls we've dealt with it this week, last week. Aerial bombardment that Michael Keane and especially James Tarkowski will deal with on a regular basis. Because we do tend to try and push teams wide and then put the ball in and then we deal with it. I just don't think he's good enough in the air. So listen, he was all right tonight. He wasn't brilliant by any means, but I've given him 6.5 tonight. Michael Keane, good steady game for Michael Keane tonight. Again, on top of the performance last week. He had 11 clearances. Funny enough, he didn't have any ground duels tonight, but he did win 4 out of the 5 aerial duels, and that's why the manager's got him in the team. I think he's got him in the team because we're trying to force the opposition wide. We're trying to force them into putting crosses in there, and I think with him and James Tarkowski in the middle, we're going to deal with a lot of those balls, and that's what I think that he's in the side for. He's a reasonable defender, but he's good in the air. I think we saw this last season when we played there. He is good in the air, and that's why the manager's got him in the side, and it helps. It helps with his tactics. He's better than Connor Cody in the air, and if we push the ball wide, as I said, he's going to deal with it. It's more their first goal is more what we lets them down, just like lazy defending, sticking a leg out instead of properly dealing with it. But he did all right tonight. I give him a 7. As I said, he's done really well in the air for me most of the night, especially in the final minutes with the corners and stuff. So I've given him a 7. James Tarkowski, I've given him a 7.5. Ground duels 3 out of 8, and then 1 out of 2. Only 2 aerial duels tonight. That shows you the ball fell more onto Michael Keane's side. So it's interesting that maybe they want Michael Keane to go for more stuff in the air, and Tarkowski's being left to maybe deal with the other stuff. The penalty has gone against them, but I honestly think the play was already on the way down by the time Tarkowski got a touch on it. But it was still poor defending from the pair, and by the way, it was poor defending from both of them. They both sort of left it for each other. There was a real lack of communication there, which is strange for those 2 players. 2 tackles, only dribble past once, 1 interception, 7 blocked shots and 7 clearances from Tarkowski. So in all the stats, he's had a much more rounder game than Michael Keane in terms of defending tonight, and I think they've just let him, Michael Keane, deal with the defending more than let Tarkowski deal with more of the defending and let Keane deal with more of in the air. So I've given 7.5. Garner, a bit more of a quieter game tonight for Garner. I think he picked up a booking, didn't he? Just wasn't quite at it tonight. Only 33 touches, so more of his game was just trying to break their play down. 4 ground duels, 1 out of 9. 1 out of 1 aerial duels, so he picked his battles in terms of that. Only 1 interception. 4 tackles though. Dribble past twice. Just not quite as. Job was a little bit different tonight because at home he's breaking the play up and then he's getting the ball and moving it. I think tonight was more about shape for him. for Ghana. It's just more about the shape in the middle of the park. I've given him 6.5. So yeah, as I said, not as much of an influence as he has had recently. Abdoulaye Doucouré, man of the match for me tonight, an assist and a goal. Only 29 touches, but obviously a big goal, a big assist, and it was actually a nice little assist for the goal. Ground duels won 50%, 2 out of 4. Aerial duels didn't actually win any aerial duels out of 3, which is mad considering he is decent in the air. I thought Doucouré had a really all round good game tonight. But obviously getting a goal and getting an assist, that's massive, because obviously he is all over the pitch. By the way, his heat map he's all over the pitch. He pops up on the right, pops up on the left, and in the box as well. Does his defending. But the goal, obviously, good headed goal. Obviously, the goal line technology confirmed it was in, which was massive for us. But I think he was man of the match. I said I've given 8.25 for the to get him man of the match. But he's getting, considering that he hadn't scored under Frank Lampard, he scored now last 2 away games. He's improving massively. He's playing almost as the false 9 at times, even though we've got another one up front. But he's just playing off the strike. If you talk about the old-fashioned Sean Dyche style of playing, he is very much instead of the centre forward dropping off from midfield, he's the midfielder pushing into the centre forward role. And obviously the goals have been massive. We look so much better on set pieces as well. We look a threat on most set pieces. Like we put it into the right areas, we keep it alive, and we look so much better. So big game for Doucouré tonight, and I've given 8.25. Onana, a little bit better than he has been in the last couple of weeks. More touches on the ball tonight, 44. 8 ground duels, 4 out of 8 won, so half his ground duels. Aerial duels, 2 out of 4 won. I would expect that maybe being a bit higher. Bit more of a rounded game again, I would say, for him tonight. I've given him 6.75. A bit more of a rounded game, but again, he's not. I don't know. You just want him to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. He's just not quite doing that. But again, it was all about being in a unit tonight, wasn't it? It was all about being in a unit and stopping Chelsea from breaking us down. Certainly for the first hour, anyway. So, and then we moved on. Yeah, he did all right. It wasn't amazing at any stretch, but he did all right tonight. Alex Iwobi. I just thought Alex Iwobi looked off it from the start. I actually messaged, put it in the group. His body language, just straight from the start, it was like he looked as in to say, "Oh, I've got 90 minutes of this, 90 minutes of doing doggies, chasing and harrying." He just didn't look on it from the start for me. And I know his body language can suggest like different things. I don't know. But anyway, ground duels 4 out of 8, so 50%. Attempted dribbles 2 out of 4, so 50% on that. But he lost the ball for their second goal, and there's too much of that in his game. He looked half-hearted for me when with the pressing tonight for me. And I know that's not what he's supposed to be in the team for, but I don't know. I just got a sense early on that he just didn't fancy it. Just got a sense that he just didn't fancy it early on in the game. And I thought that continued most of the game, and I've given 5.75 because he just didn't look that arsed, if I'm honest. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I think he's been working hard for us recently, but tonight I just didn't think he was on it at all. Dwight McNeil, another player who again, all about working hard and not actually giving much creativity. And he has worked hard for the team, to be honest. Although 6 ground duels out of 14 to less than 50%. Done a lot of doubling up at left back. Silly foul late on, nearly cost us. But he was again. It's difficult. It's difficult to judge attacking players when they're being asked when they're being basically told not to attack and being told to just defend and be part of a shape. I thought he worked hard. I thought he put a shift in. Attacking wise, very little there. Crosses, no. But it's difficult for him. I'll give him that. Him and Iwobi, I don't think either of them have particularly good games. But they're being asked to defend for large amounts of the game to help the team. And you've got to give them credit for that at least. But both of them, I thought, struggled tonight. I thought Iwobi was worse than Dwight McNeil. I've give Dwight McNeil 6.5, but they're not. The problem is you want players with pace, and neither of them have got great pace to get up. Dwight McNeil's got no pace. I mean, he had one where he done a little good run the first half, and then ends up. I don't think we ended up getting a corner for it, but some games are about working hard. Some games are about when you're at home being creative. Tonight was about working hard, and then we had to be creative late on. But I don't think either of them were great in that. If you get what I mean. Demarai Gray. We're talking about working hard and not getting any rewards for it. I talked earlier on my instant match reaction about Ellis Sims and if he started games. This is something we spoke about about Demarai Gray as well. Could he sacrifice his own game for the team? And I honestly thought tonight he did do that. I thought he put in a really selfless display. I thought he worked really hard for the team tonight. I thought he made a lot of. He did again. Creativity wasn't there from him. I don't think he, in terms of shot, he hasn't had a shot on target and a shot off target. He had one blocked. He had 3 dribbles that he had 2 successful. Ground duels, he's won 6 out of 14. Aerial duels, he's won none out of 4. But I did think he worked hard for the team. I'll give him that. And I think that's something that I don't think any of us thought we were going to get from him. The pressing and defending from the front. I don't think we're going to get that from Ellis Sims if he starts games of football right now. Mopai isn't very good at that away from home because he's got no pace. But Gray worked hard tonight. I'll give him a 7. He worked hard, defended from the front, and give us maybe not. I don't know. Part of the game maybe he didn't, but later on after they'd scored, he certainly started giving us a bit of an outball to try and get us up the pitch. So I've given him a 7. So he worked hard tonight. Fair play to him. The subs, obviously Ellis Sims, come on. And Brian McNulty says in the super chat, thanks Brian, he said, would love to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Sims up front together. Well, we'd have to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the pitch first, wouldn't we, mate, to make that happen. But Ellis Sims comes on, 10 minutes to go, we're 2-1 down, and he got the goal. It's as simple as that, isn't it? He got the goal. Nothing else really matters about any other part of his performance. He's come on for 11 minutes. I don't know how many touches has he had. He's had 6 touches of the ball. But ultimately, 2 of those touches were one to get past Koulibaly and the other one to put it in the back of the net. So I've given him 8 because he's not having man of the match because the Corey's having man of the match. But really, really good cameo. Brilliant goal. To take Koulibaly with that first touch and then put it in with this brilliant goal. Big moment for him. Big moments in his career. He's now scored the Premier League goal. He scored the Premier League goal for Everton. Big moments in his career. And hopefully he takes the confidence from that. And we start seeing Ellis Sims get better and better, hopefully. He needs more opportunities. He needs the right opportunities as well. As I said earlier, instant match reaction. This isn't just now, well, let's throw him in the team. No, you don't just throw him in the team because he doesn't play as a lone striker. That's difficult. That's difficult. You know, it's difficult to just play and press and defend from the front for the whole game. But what a moment for him, and what a moment, last minute Premier League game, Stamford Bridge to make it 2-2. That is absolutely huge moment. Delighted for him, and he just has to keep improving week in, week out. Get more opportunities, I imagine, off the bench to come on. He's proved he can do it once. Go and do it again. So absolutely brilliant moment for Ellis Sims. Mykolenko came on left back, swapped sides with Godfrey. Swam for 12 minutes. Didn't really do anything, did he? He had 6 touches as well. He did put the ball up to the corner to set. He had a pre-assist. I'll give him that. I'll give him 6.5. He played his part in the goal. Part in the goal, Mykolenko. So fair play. It was nice I suppose it was nice to not see the same subs of Tom Davis and Mykolenko, of Mopai coming on again. So it was nice to see it changed up a little bit. But there you go. 2-2. I'm happy with that personally. I'm sure everyone else is happy with that as well. So there we go. I will leave you with that. If you haven't already, check out my instant match reaction. Check out Baz's videos as well. And couple of weeks of happiness as Everton don't have a game, and we'll be back for the Spurs game, obviously, on 2 weeks on Monday. So there you go. I'll be back for Monday. I think we're live at 1:30 on YouTube, and then we'll be live for the final word at 3 o'clock over on Toffee TV Premier. I'll probably be doing a video tomorrow over on our other channel, Toffee TV Football. If you haven't subscribed to that, please do go and subscribe. It would be nice if all you people watching could go over and subscribe. We're covering all the footy. Me, Baz, Steve Kelly are covering footy over there, all the general stuff. So I'll probably be doing a video over there, and I'm going to chat about that tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on Monday. See you later. Bye.